The Soloist is a 2009 American drama film directed by Joe Wright, and starring Jamie Foxx and Robert Downey, Jr. It is based on the true story of Nathaniel Ayers, a musician who developed schizophrenia and became homeless. The screenplay by Susannah Grant is based on the book, The Soloist by Steve Lopez. Foxx portrays Ayers, who is considered a cello prodigy, and Downey portrays Lopez, a Los Angeles Times columnist who discovers Ayers and writes about him in the newspaper. The film was released in theaters on April 24, 2009 and on DVD and Blu-ray August 5. Plot: in 2005, Steve Lopez is a journalist working for the LA Times. He is divorced and now works for his ex-wife, Mary, an editor. A biking accident lands Lopez in a hospital. One day, he hears a violin being played beautifully. Investigating, he encounters Nathaniel Ayers, a homeless schizophrenic, who is playing a violin when Lopez introduces himself. During the conversation that follows, Lopez learns that Ayers once attended Juilliard. Curious as to how a former student of such a prestigious school ended up on the streets, Lopez contacts Juilliard but learns that no record of Ayers graduating from it exists. Though at first figuring a schizophrenic who's talented with a violin isn't worth his time, Lopez soon realizes that he has no better story to write about. Luckily, he soon learns that Ayers did attend Juilliard, but dropped out after 2 years. Finding Ayers the next day, Lopez says he wants to write about him. Ayers doesn't appear to be paying attention. Getting nowhere, Lopez finds and contacts Ayers' sister, who gives the columnist the information he needs. Ayers was once a child prodigy with a cello, until he began displaying symptoms of schizophrenia at Juilliard. Unable to handle the voices, Ayers dropped out and ended up on the streets. Without a cello, he has resorted to playing a 2-string violin. Lopez writes his article. One reader is so touched, she sends him a cello for Ayers. Lopez brings it to him and Ayers is shown to be just as proficient as with the violin. Unfortunately, his tendency to wander puts both Ayers and the cello in danger, so Lopez talks him into leaving it at a shelter, located in a neighborhood of homeless people. Ayers is later seen playing for the homeless. A concerned Lopez tries to get a doctor he knows to help. He also tries to talk Ayers into getting an apartment, but Ayers refuses. After seeing a reaction to music played at an opera house, Lopez persuades another friend, Graham, a cellist, to rehabilitate Ayers through music. The lessons go well, though Ayers is shown to be getting a little too attached to Lopez, much to the latter's annoyance. Lopez eventually talks Ayers into moving into an apartment by threatening to abandon him. Lopez's article on Ayers gains so much fame, Ayers is given the chance to perform a recital. Sadly, he loses his temper, attacks Graham and leaves. This convinces Lopez's doctor friend to get Ayers some help. But when Ayers learns what Lopez is up to, he throws Lopez out of his apartment and threatens to kill him. While speaking with Mary, Lopez realizes that not only has he changed Ayers' life, Ayers has changed him. Determined to make amends, Lopez brings Ayers' sister to LA for a visit. Ayers and Lopez make up. Later, while all watch an orchestra, Lopez ponders how beneficial their friendship has been. Ayers still hears voices, but at least he no longer lives on the streets. In addition, Ayers has helped Lopez's relationship with his own family. It is revealed in the end that Ayers is still a member of the lamp community and that Lopez is learning how to play the guitar. Cast: Jamie Foxx as Nathaniel Ayers, Robert Downey, Jr. as Steve Lopez, Catherine Keener as Mary Weston, Tom Hollander as Graham Clayton, Lisa Gay Hamilton as Jennifer, Nelson Ellis as David Carter, Rachel Harris as Leslie Bloom, Stephen Root as Kurt Reynolds, Lorraine Toussaint as Flo Ayers, Justin Martin as young Nathaniel Ayers, Octavia Spencer as Troubled Woman, Gina Malone as Cheery Lab Tech, Lemon Anderson as Uncle Tommy. Production: The Soloist, directed by Joe Wright, was written by Susannah Grant, based on a series of columns written by Los Angeles Times columnist Steve Lopez, who chronicled a plight of Nathaniel Ayers, Jr., a musician with schizophrenia, and eventually was chronicled in Lopez's book, The Soloist. Grant drew elements of the story from a book written by Lopez, which was published in the spring of 2008. The film was budgeted at $60 million, twice the budget amount of Wright's previous film, Atonement. Production began in January 2008 and was filmed mostly in Los Angeles, with some scenes shot in Cleveland. Reception. Critical reaction. Overall, the film has received mixed reviews. Based on 200 reviews collected by Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an overall rating 56% of reviews being positive with an average score of 5.9/10. The site's consensus reads, though it features strong performances by its lead players, a lack of narrative focus prevents The Soloist from hitting its mark. At Metacritic, the film received an average score of 61 out of 100, which indicates generally favorable reviews, based on 32 reviews. Reviewers generally praise the performances by Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Foxx, but comment on the film's lack of narrative focus in attempting to tell a convincing or engaging story due to the somewhat uneven direction by director Joe Wright. Many felt that the project was a bit of a mismatch for Wright, and felt it was one of his weakest films to date, following the success of his adaptations of Pride and Prejudice and Atonement. Box office. On its opening weekend, the film opened number 4 behind Fighting, 17 Again, and Obsessed, grossing $9,715,000 in 2024 theaters with a $4,800 average per theater. The film went on to only recover about half of its total budget, bringing in $31,720,158. This was blamed on the film's initial release date being postponed, as well as the film's release coming 1 week before the 2009 summer movie season. Soundtrack. The soundtrack to The Soloist was released on April 21, 2009. See also, White Savior narrative in film, notes. References. Thompson, Anne. Wright Soloist Won't Play Holiday, Variety, October 19, 2008. External links. Official website, The Soloist at the Internet Movie Database, The Soloist at Rotten Tomatoes, The Soloist at Box Office Mojo, The Soloist at AllMovie, Chris Orr's review of The Soloist at The New Republic, Nathaniel Ayers performs July 2009 NAMI convention.